Thursday, December 1st, 1988. Today is the very first World AIDS Day. Information I'm only giving you because it's true. And you've decided not to do anything because you're afraid people will think you're celebrating AIDS. Because you're a dumbass. So what do? You watch a movie. But what do you watch? Scrooged? The Naked Gun? Yogi and the Invasion of the Space Bears? Hell no. You're in a Saxon type mood. You want to get all the way Saxoned up. And you're in luck. John Saxon's directorial debut. On the box, a pink and violet fleshy skull stares directly into your soul. You're about to step into the Zombie Death House! Welcome to B-Sad Video Rentals. I'm Jeremy Briggs.
And I'm Jenny Wenger.
Hi, Jenny. How are
Hey.
you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, I'm so much better.
Yeah, you've had a week.
Yeah, I just moved. Surrounded by boxes and dirty clothes.
Yeah, you said you still have things in your car.
Yes, I didn't unload it yet. I was like, I got things to do.
I got priorities. I got to talk about Zombie Death House.
I got to talk about some Zombie Death House.
Which it was very different than I imagined it would be.
Very different.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't disappointed.
It's like 2 or 3 different movies.
Yes.
All at the same time.
Yeah. And I was on board for 2 of them.
The third one.
I have some opinions that are probably going to get me in trouble, but you know what? I'm going to give them. It's
You're
fine.
going to give them. Yeah.
I'm gonna give
And then
them.
I'm going to be like, I don't agree. Somebody hire me.
Yeah.
She's the crazy one.
And then the people from my side are only hate listening. Like my
Right.
family in Tennessee, they will hate listen to this to pray for me. So it's fine.
Well, somebody needs to, you heathen.
I am. I'm a heathen.
You want to get into the news?
Why not? Let's see what's going on.
Why not? Thursday, December 1st, 1988. And these are your not-so-current events.
After 6 years of studying rival ideas for an international deep space mission, the European Space Agency has decided to explore Saturn's moon, Titan, to learn about the origin of life. Which is a waste of time, if you ask me. The origin of life is all about sticking that P in the V. They're talking about the wrong stuff.
You figure it out. We figured it out a long time ago.
Yeah, I fingered it out, and then I figured it out.
Good Lord.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission announced today that Vapor Samac steam irons are being recalled because of their danger of starting fires. Hell, I sure could have used one of those on my last camping trip.
Huh? You gotta start a fire somehow. Tonight's edition of 48 Hours is about the poachers killing off black rhinoceroses at a devastating rate, suggesting that the impoverished poachers consider themselves more endangered than the rhinos, saying they'll shoot anything and everything. In unrelated news, I'm taking my mother-in-law to Zimbabwe.
Oh my God, Jeremy.
Applications for the Concert Artists Guild's International New York competition must be received by January 27th. The competition is open to all classical instrumentalists except organists. Those lying, filthy tricksters. I don't trust an organist. The whole lot of them. You can't have my kidneys, freaking organist.
I've heard about him on the black market. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in learning more.
Not interested.
The Mets said yesterday that they had told Gary Carter he would not be traded this winter and would return as their regular catcher next season. Nothing boosts your ego quite like being called regular.
He's a regular
He's
catcher.
a regular.
He's just regular.
That was also one of my nicknames in college.
Regular?
No,
She's
that was
my regular.
Yeah. Regular what? Scientists said today that a series of plutonium leaks at the government Savannah River plant near Aiken, South Carolina, were caused by gaskets and leaky seals. Although I think blaming leaky seals is a bit judgmental. It's not like anybody's out there teaching seals how to kegel.
Yeah, I mean, we're all a little leaky sometimes, right?
Yeah, especially when you hit a certain age. I mean, it gets harder.
Seriously, though, seal kegels. The National Football League suspended Mark Brown of the Miami Dolphins for one game yesterday as additional punishment for a late hit. He would have gotten away with it if he had just blamed his wife. They make you late for everything.
You idiot.
Oh, I would have been on time, but she had to put on makeup. No? College hockey officials have worked hard to curb fighting with some success. Their sport has less of the boring brawls that are common to the professional game because these college players know Krav Maga. It's not boring.
An ancient bronze vessel used for an ancestral worship which was reportedly stolen from a Chinese museum last June, has been withdrawn from this morning's auction at Sotheby's. Ancestral worship? No thanks. Last time I got on Ancestry.com, I found out I'm related to a racist redneck rapist riddled with rabies. That's a lot, but I didn't have to find that out from Ancestry.com. But good try. CBS has announced that it will develop a new weekly comedy series custom tailored for Valerie Harper called Desperate Women, where she plays a woman who tries desperately to be taken seriously by anybody.
By anybody, but women can't do business. Men do business. Women have no business in business.
I'm going to do my business right on your fucking chest if you don't shut up about that.
These are jokes. Oh my God, it was so aggressive.
I'm a business lady.
Look, it's 1988. Get over it.
Know your place.
Preparations for the secret military mission of the Space Shuttle Atlantis continued today as officials monitored the approach of high winds and threatened to delay the launching schedule for Thursday morning. The mission is so top secret, the New York Times has a detailed article in today's newspaper. Why did they say it was secret?
If you're trying to keep a secret, that's probably not the place.
Maybe don't put it in the New York Times. Although state and local flu vaccine programs are increasing, only about 20% of people at high risk of complications from the flu are immunized against the disease each year because vaccines make you crazy. I'll take one flu over the cuckoo's nest any day.
There's so many things to say here. Like, this is one of those subjects where every time I talk about it, I get in trouble. The New York Philharmonic's weekly radio broadcast of concerts will be suspended after the December 25th program. The orchestra announced that it will seek a sponsor to replace Exxon. The decision was made after Exxon revealed its new slogan, "It's better to be Exxon Mobil than Exxon crippled." Cancel!
That's a terrible slogan.
It's a really terrible one.
Two health advocacy groups petitioned the FDA to ban the use of drugs to stop milk production and breast engorgement, which is sometimes painful in women who don't breastfeed after giving birth. One of the groups, known as the Milk Daddies, was quoted as saying, "Gives us the milk. We want it. It's not creepy. It's nature's. Gives us the milksies. We want some milk."
I'm so upset right now.
See, Danny, this is what happens when you don't pre-read.
I didn't say, maybe we should tweet that one because I'm going to comment on camera.
And that was your not-so-current event.
Down there.
Okay. Zombie Death House. Let's get into it.
Did you hear that when that ding's so loud like that?
What?
I got a message and it went, ding. I think it's just in my ear.
That happens every time I get a boner. Ding. Sorry.
Your boner works kind of like a triangle.
Maybe I need to get new pants.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them aren't made of wind chimes. Penis coming through wind chimes. That would be very alarming. I thought they were so peaceful.
It was so peaceful until I was accosted.
So we're
my goodness.
We're in for it.
Directed by John Saxon masterpiece?
Yeah, I'm watching it. It was like my husband, because my husband, for those of you who don't know, he did a lot of television in the late 80s and through the 90s. So watching this with him was like, oh, I know him. Oh, I know her. Oh, I've worked with him. Like, can I just
watch the movie?
I kind of have to say things about it.
You made him watch it, huh?
I didn't make him. He wandered in and saw somebody's boobs and sat down and kept watching with me.
The first set of boobs.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'll see what this is about.
Oh, wait a minute. What's this film?
I'll give it a chance.
The boobs that come right up top.
Yeah. Really hard nipples, really excited. They're pointing east and west in a lovely way. So
apparently, this is the only John Saxon film directed by, and they lost their director, like at the last minute, and he's like, "I'll do it, me."
So
I'll do
who was the one who you think put in all the homoerotic stuff? Because this is like a really homoerotic film, which is one of the parts of the film that I loved. I loved it. Like a lot of guys go to prison and they make it like super tough guy and everything's really, and they're just like, we're all fucking in here. You're beautiful.
Hey, that was a love story, but
it was.
Apparently he got in, he's not happy with the film, obviously. The producers and him did not see eye to eye on what the film should be. They made him put a lot more gore and car chases in the film. I think I'm on the producer's side on this.
I am too.
One.
I like the gore. The gore and the car chases and the homoeroticness saved it from the other stuff.
Because it really feels like is this a mafia revenge story?
Yes.
Is it a zombie in prison movie? Or is it a chemical doctor movie?
Yeah.
Chemical doctor movie?
Chemical
words
doctor
know
movie.
them.
Lab coats.
Words and me are friends.
Lab coats, glasses. Smart stuff.
And just a full disclosure, we're going to be calling these things zombies throughout this, even though
they are not.
They're not zombies. They're more
it's
28 days
title.
later. Yeah, they're more 28 days later infectious disease things and flesh-eating ghouls of the Romero type.
With superhuman strength, though.
Yes.
Which is cool.
So for the sake of not being complete dorks, that's what we're doing.
Yes.
Goodness, we start out with helicopter shots in the middle of nowhere so that we know that it's going to be a cheap film.
Yeah. This is stock footage.
This is stock footage for sure. In the middle of nowhere. And then we just get like right away, we're bombarded with like just the laziest developing of story. It's like we've got
voiceover.
Flashbacks, we've got voiceover, this guy's driving with the best haircut you could have.
Absolutely. One of the heroes of the film.
And it's just like constant voiceover, and it's like, okay, so now we know that he went to Vietnam and now he's out and he was a hero, but
now he's a chauffeur.
He's a chauffeur for a big time gangster.
Yeah.
Because that's the only job he can get.
Yeah. I mean, yes, of course. Not yeah.
So those always like voiceover always brings me out and makes me just get so you're just trying to fix a story at this point.
Because they're like, we didn't film anything that supports this, so we're going to have him. It's showing him with his mouth shut looking around and his voice talking. into a freaking mic and a
it's
sound
not even
booth.
it's not even a voiceover like a traditional like we're in his head. It's like no, we're playing a different scene
while you're looking at him going,
while he's Okay, so we immediately know, all right, he's a chauffeur, even though we have to kind of figure out that he's a big time gangster. We cut to this big time gangster.
Yeah. And
Vic.
and he kisses his young hot girlfriend, wife, lady, and I almost threw up. Because she kisses him and it's like this open mouth disgust.
They go in for it, and she definitely
grabs her
hands down
hand.
Are you sure he grabbed it?
He had his hand on there and was leading it. You think she chose to do that? She doesn't like that guy.
She doesn't like him. I know.
No.
I just immediately was like, okay, this is a gold digging situation.
Yes.
She's got the mafia guy. I didn't find it out of the realm of possibility for her to just be like, I got to keep him happy while I go off shopping or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's not shopping. What is she doing?
Meeting, the chauffeur picks her up.
Derek, the chauffeur.
Yeah.
Picks her up and they have a little, and immediately go to Bangtown.
Bangtown. Which it was like the grossest motel. And I'm like, you're so rich. Like, why are you going to this hotel?
So that nobody
sees. He gave
you
shopping money. Oh, the seedy motel. Like, I'm like, this lady isn't going to roll around in like rat turd sheets.
You think she's too good for that?
Yeah, I do.
She's hooking up with Derek.
Who I was like so confused at first. I'm like, wait, is this the same guy? Because they had the same haircut. but a little different.
It is the same guy.
Yes, but it looked like it was a different haircut that day.
Oh, maybe.
Like one day they had cut his hair fresh and it was super short in the bangs. And then the next day it was like feathered, but they were the same day. So I'm like, I'm confused. Was he playing Bonner guy and now he's playing Vietnam guy? And then it started unraveling once I found out like how pissed the guy was.
Yeah, so that's Derek, and he's played by Dennis Cole. And what I found fascinating is when we did our Thunder Run 2 episodes ago or whatever that was, we talked about a movie called Pretty Smart because Jay Levy did the music, or that opening song Born to Rock played. Dennis Cole is in that film.
Full. And I like his Vietnam vet guy too. So like after they bang, it then shows him like getting, like talking with his Vietnam vet who's letting him kind of like stay with him. And,
crash on his couch or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then pretty quickly, I mean, this stuff goes very rapid fire. They're giving us so much information, in the first 15 minutes, there's tons of information. It's kind of like Up.
Yes. Yes, it's very much that touching and impactful.
People say how they just talk about Up and how just wonderful that 10 minutes is and how much information. But look, they should watch this movie. They crank in
a lot,
an hour's worth of story.
So the thing that I love is they follow her, they catch her with him. The mob guy is like pissed. He's like, I'm gonna make sure that she pays.
Well, before that happens, there's like the other gangster guys are like, you're gonna take us. We've got some kind of a jewelry exchange, and we go to this jewelry exchange, and it's a setup, a double cross. And Derek is like, oh, I got to go help him. So he goes out there. He has a Vietnam flashback of him like snapping some guy's neck, and then he snaps a guy's neck.
Yeah.
And then he
saves them. He sets the people who tried to kill them free, and they're like, oh, this is going to be bad for you.
Oh, no. I want to see you explain that to Moretti. And then he's just like, I fought my last war.
It's like, I just saved you.
And he runs away. And he just like decides at this point, he's going to go into hiding. And this is where they follow Janelle.
Yeah.
To find out that they've been hooking up. Two-timing.
And so this scene was really wild because it was like she's in the bathtub. And
all right, let's just talk about that tiling real quick.
It was really beautiful.
It was all
a beautiful
brownish
bathroom.
red with like the tiling was on the floor. It was on the walls.
Yeah.
It
Amber
was the bathtub.
It was nice.
I love that. Girl, to me, that is success. That's what success looks like.
Opulence. So he's massaging her. Oh, and she's like, oh, that feels really good. Oh, you're hurting me. And then he starts like choking her and then drowning her.
But before he does that, he says like my favorite line. Then he's like, hey, give me that mouth. It's so gross. Give me that mouth. And then they force his tongue down her throat, pushes her in the water, and that's when he kills her.
And while she's dying, they had her just lift one titty up out of the water because they needed that last titty shot. They're like, as you're dying, can you just put your nipple out?
We need to do this again. We said lean to the left.
Yeah, you got it.
Arch your back up.
It was so good.
We need this drowning to be sexy.
And what does he say? So long, baby. I'm going to miss those soft lips.
I'm going to miss those. This guy loves soft lips.
Soft lips. He says soft lips all the time. It makes my skin fall. I'm like, I'm going to have that on repeat in my nightmares for life. But what I also love is right from here, it's the chase with the cops, right?
Yeah.
Because Derek hears on the radio that she's been killed. And
did he hear that? I thought he just ran for no reason.
No, he heard it on the radio and he was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, the worst thing to do is run from them when you know they're coming for you for murder. It's like, pull over and say, I didn't do it. Like, this isn't a thing. But it's like, this guy owns the cops. He knows who he is. He knows this mafiosa guy. And he has no chance in hell.
Do you have anything to say about the chase itself?
I thought it was so badass.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have caught him in real life with the moves he pulled.
My favorite thing about that chase is like they corner him and he has to he stops and he's surrounded. The way he hits it he hits his steering wheel so he's like a 12-year-old. So you're like, shucks. Yeah. Oh, they got me.
Dang it.
Oh boy, this isn't good.
Yeah, it was but a lot of the stunts were like that. Like it felt like they were smack.
Hey.
You shut up.
We don't want you guys to commit fully.
Act like your arms are made of rubber, but you find out at the last second.
So all of this happens in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That is at the 15-minute mark is when he
cuts to him in just a black room with a light on him, and that's the court.
At the courtroom, it's so funny. It says 10 months later, him, his lawyer, a table, and then one guy in the background with a police uniform or whatever. And it's like,
that's not a courtroom. You're fooling absolutely nobody.
It's so they shot the movie and we're like, oh.
Shit.
Oh, we forgot the courtroom scene. Hey, we got about $50.
Just stand him in a corner and put a light on. Hey, just...
Yeah. Does anybody got real thick Duvatine and we could just put it in the background to block out?
You could at least have gotten an office and had a nice table. No.
It's just a black room.
Just standing there all weird. So now he's going to prison.
Townsend State Penitentiary. And more audio flashbacks.
Yep. And then they let him
all
know.
Over the place.
We don't care what your name is. You're now number 90724.
Oh, no. Write that down.
And then they never pay that off ever again.
Why would they?
Well, everybody knows everybody's name.
Right.
Everybody introduces by name.
Stop calling each other by your names. We gave you numbers for a reason.
They told us we're numbers. And the prison guard, we found out later why he knows everybody's name.
Indeed, we do.
That guy was a scumbag.
This is where we finally meet John Saxon's character very quick. His name is Colonel Gordon Burgess. And all we know at this point is he's up to no good.
Yeah. And I like that as they're sending him in to be introduced to all the other prisoners, the fat, weird prison guard, who I hate for multiple reasons, says, if he messes up, we'll tear him a new asshole. And boy, does he really mean that.
He does. But also at that point, he puts his glasses on. So he says, don't worry about it, Warden. If he gives us any trouble, aviator sunglasses, we'll just tear him a new asshole.
Yeah, I was like, I see where Caruso got the CSI Miami bit.
Yeah, he watched Zombie Death House. And
he's inspired. I'm going to do that.
My God.
Yes. So then he's introduced to everybody. It's just like the weirdest intros ever.
But before that, like, I just have to point out the set dressing in the warden's office cracks me up because there is a full bookshelf that is completely empty. There's not a thing on this bookshelf.
He's like, well, I've been meaning to put stuff up there.
I want to at least believe that this is an office. Just put something in that thing.
Better than the courthouse, you know?
That's what they're like. Should we fill the bookshelf? Nah, we just gave them a black screen for a courthouse. They're fine.
They're fine. This said dead guy, this was his first and last job. But as he's walking through, everyone's the horniest I've ever seen anyone. I'm like, fuck you. Oh, you're sexy. I can't wait to bend you over. Like, it's just like every single one of them is like this. Like, there's not a single one of them that's just like, I'm just trying to do my time and get out of here. Everyone's like so horny. But
hey, man, I've been in here for 6 weeks. I'm horny.
And then you meet the mafioso guys.
Franco Moretti. Franco, played by Michael Pataki. He was in Rocky IV, Halloween 4, and Graduation Day. Vic's little brother, the top dog.
Who's insanely gay, like over the top.
So over the top.
Hi, this is my boyfriend.
You just meet him.
He's in a crop top.
He's wearing a black wife beater. Way too short. It looks like a bra.
And he's like, you know, is it Sean? Sean's his lover.
Sean is his lover.
Sean's his lover with feathered, beautiful hair. And they let them sleep in there together in their made-up room that looks like their apartment.
And they just cuddle.
They're really cute together.
I do love that someone actually vocalizes, "Welcome to the death house."
Yeah.
Somebody actually said, "Welcome to the death house." I wish he said, "Welcome to the zombie death house."
Yeah, it's like, oh, they might as well.
Might as well. But John Saxon was like, "I don't think so, guys. That's taking it one step too far."
He didn't even agree for it to be zombie death house.
Right, yeah. He's like, "This is just death house." Nope.
No, people love zombies. We're just going to make it zombie death house. People love zombies. So then he goes to his it's almost like solitary confinement, right? It's on the death row area, and it's like nothing. Like, they had these beautiful cells that look like condos, and he's in this terrible one. Across from...
His name's Adams, Prisoner Adams. But, Derek goes to sleep, and he wakes up with a plastic cockroach on his face. This place is infested with plastic cockroaches.
Yeah, he smacked it.
He smacks it like we believe it's alive.
But we get a little bit of exposition from Adams about, it's like everybody's kind of acting a little stupid. They make everybody drink that and it makes them stupid. So I just don't do it.
They're handing out behavior. They've got a behavior modification program. But he does tell you, he says, I don't do that, but the people that do, they all get booze and pussy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they're too out of it to even enjoy it. He said that.
Yeah. And for some reason, this guard who we just know and love so much, he hates Prisoner Adams. He hates Adams.
Yeah.
He says, Adams, when you fry, I'm going to make sure you fry real slow, like a chicken on my barbecue.
Yeah. And Adams, I don't know if it's here or later, but I love that he said, make sure you marinate me.
Yeah.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah, Adams is not impressed with this guard. Not at all.
So one of the experimental guys, so at this point, Saxon's character is going to they change the dosage a bit.
Change the drugs entirely.
Yeah, I forget what his H1A.
HVA.
It sounded like HVA. I was like, this sounds really close to the pig flu, H1N1. But yeah, HVA, that's right. So he's changing it, and they're like, well, is it going to be kind of the same? No, it's going to be completely different. Not explaining.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, no.
That's enough information.
Nope.
No,
I'm not doing that.
Your funding will be pulled.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Sorry.
I got in this to help people.
Yeah. We're not crazy.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He gave it to the guard, the predictable guard, who He'll do anything.
Yeah, he needs his funding, so he goes along with it. And the guard gives it to, that you kind of think they're going to give it to Adams or Derek, but then they go back to like the biggest, strongest looking guy in the place.
And he just goes and sticks him. It's just the guard sneaking around needling randos with a needle, which is what I do on a Tuesday on Cahuenga.
Gross. You could actually get very popular that way in Hollywood. You're like, stick me. I need something.
Hey, what do you got there?
You're giving out stuff. I just thought I'd get in line. So the guy, what I love though about it is when they go to check on him, it's like he's got a nosebleed. That's the first sign.
That's the first sign.
Infection. And it seems like a really big headache. So what I was thinking is maybe he's been taking the stupid poison because he like lost all of his vocal abilities and was just
right.
But superhuman strength.
Right. He gets out and he starts tossing guards like I toss salad. And Derek is just watching the chaos unfold from his cell. I don't know how, but I gotta get out of this place.
Yeah.
Saxon meets with our guard one more time and says, I need one more.
One more. Yeah.
I need one more. And he hands him the elf and it goes to prisoner Adams. Because they're like, he's going to die in a day. He's on death row. He's being killed tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah.
We then find out, because we go to a church, he's being killed at midnight on Christmas?
Yeah, like, what a horrible place. And they
Merry
called in
Christmas, we're going to murder you.
And they called in the reporter lady with her camera guy.
Yes.
Is she a reporter scientist?
Saxon calls a sexy lady in a penthouse. That's my note.
In silk robe.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't finish typing. That is Tane McClure, daughter of Doug McClure.
Yes, Casper gave me the full thing.
Oh, did
he told me, you know the song Faithfully? That's written about her. And I was like, what the hell? Really? It's like, yeah, I know her. I was a big fan of her dad's.
And so it's very unclear. It's like she was a great scientist.
Yeah.
And just was like, I'm going to give it up for journalism.
Yeah.
I'm no longer interested in science.
Just like two completely different degrees.
But she agrees to come help him because, well, she was part of this HVH. She helped create it and like design it or whatever. But she gave it up because she's like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I want to, write for a local newspaper.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, if you give me an interview, this is my phone. This is a phone. This is a banana. And then Saxon immediately hangs up the phone and he's like, she fell for it.
Yeah.
What did she fall for?
Why are you sending her there?
Like, he plays such a weird game of chess. The people he sends in and the reasons he does make no sense to me. He's just like, hey, how about put another person in there?
So then we go to church.
We go to church.
And it's the warden and his family. Everybody's there. And some disgusting dude preparing the wine and crackers.
Preacher. Well, this is the age-old classic scene, right? With the old preacher who bleeds from the nose into the communion juice. Classic scene.
I was sitting here like, what? My autism brain almost broke. Like, no, it's not. This was disgusting. This was a new upset for me. And I was just like, oh, God, please don't let people actually do this. And then I can tell you right now, if I would have even been there the day that they were doing that trick, I wouldn't have been able to drink the drink just from the thought of it.
And then Derek, of course, does not take communion, which, I felt that he was so relatable to me at this moment because I never did. And I always let it go by me.
I mean, I fell for it because I wanted the juice.
So I was like, nice.
It was like sugar.
Yeah. I just felt I just felt weird about it. I was like, I don't
know who put this in here. I don't know where these cups are kept.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I need more information.
And even the idea of, we're eating his flesh and blood. Why?
Also, why is this warden bringing his wife and kid? His wife hates this.
Hates it.
She hates it. He's like, but we do it every year.
So, why?
I've told you that I hate it. Every year, I don't want to do this. but it's tradition.
Here's where I get in trouble. It's always like, feed that little girl to him. She got on my last nerve. Every time that there's a shot of that little girl, that's not a girl who wants to be a child actor. Somebody put her there and said, just do this. And she's like, why? And they're like, just do it. Okay.
Why? I don't understand.
Mommy. Ah.
So Tane finally arrives, also known as Tanya in the film. Her name is Tanya. And she immediately wants to interview him. She's like, gets out of the back of the cab and is like, start rolling.
Yep, let's go.
We're kind of getting ready to see Adam's execution.
Yeah, but first the family argues in front of the daughter. I had that written down. Had to do that.
Yeah, I really need to talk more about this daughter and the argument.
She's just sitting there and they're screaming at each other like, I'm just like, my mom and dad at least waited until I went in my bedroom with paper thin walls to yell at each other like this. I would listen to it from the other room. As they're fighting, they come in and tell him there's an emergency.
Oh, Saxon he just says, okay, we're locking it down.
Nobody out, nobody in.
Locking it down. He puts her in there immediately, says we're locking it down.
Yep, just seeing her in there. I don't like her.
Years ago. Like, I never forgave her for ditching me.
We were on a date. She wasn't pleasant. I paid for everything.
She was my lab partner.
There was a vendetta there. The warden is raping someone. Or not the warden, the prison guard.
The prison guard who we immediately love. This is what you were referring to earlier about the tearing the new asshole. He decides to rape Sean.
Yeah, which this is such a bad idea.
Why are you raping Sean? First of all, he's bleeding from the nose.
Yeah.
But he says to him, you bend over for Franco, you're going to bend over for me. And I don't know why he's doing it, because it's not romantic. There's no Yo-Yo Ma playing in the background.
No, it was horrible. This was a bad scene for me.
Really? You find rape scenes
upsetting? So weird.
Upsetting?
People usually love those.
They're a fan favorite.
But for me, I'm just like, he's in love.
How could you do this to him? He's in love with Franco. And now we have Adam's execution going underway. But he's been jabbed already.
Yeah.
With the super juice. And he hulks out.
As he's taking him, though, he looks in at Derek and says, beat your meat.
Interesting.
Like, whose choice is this?
So he begins to hulk out as he's getting electrocuted. We've got some wonderful 80s bladder effects going on his forehead. Burp, 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 burp. And, he gets out and starts wreaking havoc. Zombie Adams. I love that he grabs a guard and, jams him into the prison bars.
Throws him by the ass.
What I wanted to talk about was when Adams slams the guard into Derek's prison bars, and he pushes him so far into the things, he just dangles there.
Yeah.
Dangling by the head. And so Derek grabs the keys, unlocks it, and starts unlocking everybody's cages.
And remember that Adams still is coherent and speaking.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said, this is mine, and takes back his instrument, and he's talking. The other guy's, and he's like, this belongs to me. This is my book, and this is my instrument.
So this is when just chaos ensues. Prisoners kill each other. Guy slices the throat of a guard and says, that pig deserved to die.
Yeah, and somebody says, we're going to have a party.
Tanya comes running in and takes charge. She's like, everybody stop fighting. I'm going to make a vaccine.
Yes.
And everybody's like, yeah, okay.
Do whatever you want to do with your time.
And also, how did Derek all of a sudden become a leader? He's the designated leader. These people don't know him. It's been a day.
Yep.
They're just like, yeah, we'll follow this guy. We trust him. Years of trust built up.
Yeah. He kind of does have that kind of hair, though.
He has the hair that is demanding to respect.
Like, if that guy came in and started saying, we need to do this, it's like, yes, feathered mullet man. Whatever you say.
The group all go out and they demand to be let out. They have hostages.
Yeah, they said, don't kill the guards. We need them.
Yeah. And so Derek comes out. They all come out. And Derek's like, I have a demand. Deliver me Vic Moretti. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why is this a choice? Yeah, okay. They'll give me Vic Moretti.
Yeah, he's going to admit that he framed me.
But I love this moment where our guard, our real classy guard, drives up. Let me out! Let me out! And they're like, no, we're in lockdown. And then Adams pops up behind him and puts him in a
Headlock until he's decapitated.
He decapitates him with a headlock. I love it.
Yeah. So good. And they won't let the warden's family out. They're pissed.
They won't let anybody out.
There's like, lockdown is lockdown.
Deal with it. And like, I love that someone says to Saxon, he's like, what do we do about that Moretti demand? Let me worry about Moretti. What?
Is this where we cut to hit the mafia guy in a restaurant entertaining?
To Vic. Yes. Where he repeats the line again, I'm a sucker for soft lips, because he's got a new bombshell.
Yeah. And he's got just a replacement lady who's got the same hair and everything as the lady he killed.
So he's just telling this tale to his cronies. And the story
everybody's on the
turns
edge of their seat.
Yeah.
We love this guy.
He's like belittling Saxon's character, saying that he helped him out when he was at his lowest, and then he owes him kind of. Yeah.
And he'll never let him forget it.
Never let him forget it. And Saxon says, do this for me, and I'll get Franco apart. And
yeah.
So what does Vic do? He shows up. Yeah, I'll go into the prison and talk to this guy.
Because he doesn't tell him about the contagious environment.
Because somebody goes like, what'd you guys talk about? He's like, oh, we reminisced about old times. I guess I forgot to tell him about the virus.
You're going in there to die. Yeah. Haha, I don't have to be in your pocket anymore.
Like, he's just throwing people in there willy-nilly. You want to go in there? I'll throw you in there.
Great. Go on in.
Hey, will you do it?
So he comes in, and it's like the Wade's part, the prison Wade's, because it's Derek, our hero, the Wade's part, and then there's Moretti at the end, like lit up like the Godfather.
Well, he does go through. He gets like a guide to go through, and he sees all the dead bodies, and he's like, "What's going on over here?" They're like,
"You don't want to know.
It's like the plague in here." And he's like, so you see him finally start going, "Oh, what's going on? Was I tricked? I should not be here."
Yeah, I shouldn't be a part of this.
Oh my goodness. So this is like Vic kind of realizes in this moment that he's outmaneuvered. He's there by himself except for Franco, who he's trying to get out, but he's like, his only option is to try and run away.
Yeah.
But as he tries to run away, our first guy who died, apparently the zombie, he like died and then came back to life and murdered a guy in front of Tanya.
Also, is that before or after when Morelli finds his brother and says, "Oh, we're going," he goes, "I'm not going anywhere without Sean." Oh, okay.
This is that scene where he's like, "I'm not going anywhere without him."
And he looks over at Sean. Yeah. Boom.
Kills him.
Kills him cold-blooded.
Franco is
hysterical.
Just destroyed.
That's the love of his life.
Yeah.
That is the love of his life, and he just watched him brutally murdered by his brother, and he cannot process it. It's like too much for him.
Because during this whole thing, Vic, he grabbed the little kid with a gun, and to the warden's kid's head, and the warden convinces him to take him and his wife instead and leave the kids.
Yeah, because he knows where there's a tunnel, where there's a way out.
So he's going to lead them out to this tunnel. And so off they go.
Yeah, and then the zombie guy comes.
Yes, then the zombie guy comes, and they just like shoot him a few times, and he's dead. Like, this is not a zombie. You have to shoot in the head. What? Yeah, you don't have to destroy the brain. You just have to kind of shoot him.
Just kill him.
Just kill him.
The lady in the lab calls Gordon and says 20% infected.
And this is a part that I would like to do an on-set speculation. The warden's wife is kind of leaning back against some bars. Nobody's behind her. And then all of a sudden, zombies come up behind her and grab her from behind and start choking her. One of the zombies, stage right, reaches in full-on boob. Like, just grabs
I had that
her
in my
boob.
notes too. And it's the second boob grab. So I'm like, what was what? Because in the office, there was a boob grab when Derek was leading the scientist lady out and says, "Okay, well, come on, we're going to work on this." And he turns her boob around and leaves. So I'm like, what is going on this set? Everybody's getting their handful.
What I want to say is, like, was this a discussion?
Yeah, can I?
Did this happen? Like, was this like a direction from Saxon who says, okay, when you come in, grab her boob? Or was this just like a zombie guy just going, this
Having his moment.
this zombie extra? He's like,
I have been waiting.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. They said we have one take to get this.
Yeah. And so, like, I hope there was a conversation, because it didn't feel like there was a conversation.
But it was the 80s. There was not a conversation. She looked just as shocked as when it slides on the other lady. She was like, these guys are like, oh, this is how I get told to leave the room.
Yeah.
This way, man.
Acting's all about strong, bold choices.
So there you go. It's fine. It's fine. Just put it somewhere in the chest with all the other terrible memories and leave it when you go to new meetings. So no, I don't think there was a conversation. I think that just happened. And because this lady looked actually really classy,
Right?
And like uptight. And watch the behind the scenes stuff. And she's like, that's my husband, Briggs.
Yeah, he's such a prankster. So now Vic and the warden get in a fight, right? The warden's like, no, I got to go check on my wife. She wandered off.
Not good news.
Not good news. So Vic's like, no, you keep working. You keep hitting that wall with a pickaxe, dude.
Then he gets pissed and kills him and says, I'm going to do it myself.
Yep. Pickaxe through the belly.
And Franco's not doing well.
Franco is not doing well. He's worse by the moment.
And that was exacerbated by killing his love.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You did that to yourself. And then we cut back to Derek, like,
in the lab,
trying to take charge. Well, Derek's trying to take charge of everybody. He's like, all right, everybody, let's take all these bodies, these infected bodies, and we're going to move them all to, like, that side of the room. And one of the guys like, you ain't getting me to touch any of those guys. This skin's falling off and shit.
I agree with that.
Pick them up, walk them over to...
I'm not a natural leader. I mean, I was just banging some guy's wife and I've given up on life. Like, I'm just saying shit for us to do.
Yeah, I just want to keep us busy.
Just throwing stuff at the wall. So then he ends up back in the lab with her, and she's trying to figure it out. But he has like this weird montage vision.
Weird dream sequence.
Yeah.
Weird, like... Well, what I think is that it is entirely necessary to the plot boob shot of Jane McClure. It's extremely necessary to the plot that he has a dream sequence of her flashing us.
And then turning into a zombie. And I was like, was it her boobs or the boobs from before? Because they had the same haircut.
No, that was definitely her boobs. Because she was like standing there in full, because it was like her in a bathing suit. And then all of a sudden she's naked and turns to us.
Why did they do that to her? Like, she has a famous daddy. She should not have to show her titties for this, but whatever. Maybe she wanted to.
You know
She's
what?
like, they look good right now.
They look good right now.
So I want to have this.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
They never looked bad. I might as well show them off.
Get the shots.
Are you sure you want to do this? It has nothing to do with our story. Get my damn titties in frame.
Somebody's going to masturbate to me. But then she figures it out.
They figure it out together. She said something and then he says something and they go back and forth and they have this thing, which is totally, I completely buy this lughead helped her, a brilliant scientist, figure it all out.
So she's going to go give the antidote and the antidote is going to go to the little girl first.
They all start taking their shots of grapefruit juice.
Franco is out full on freakazoid and the Colonel Saxon decides it's time to blow the whole thing up.
Yep.
We're just going to blow it up.
Scorched earth is what he says. Our only option is scorched earth. What a military man.
I've sent more people in there, and now I need to blow everybody up.
I need to bring another 3 or 4 people in there for no reason whatsoever. But Tanya radios in and is like, hey.
And lets him know.
I got the vaccine. I figured it out. We're going to do it. We just need supplies. Too late.
Too late. And she's like, why did you even fucking involve me in this?
Yeah. This seems entirely unnecessary, sir.
Already gives a proposition to somebody like,
Oh, it's his name is Hector.
yes.
Because he sees there's this guy who's dying.
The one with the thick accent.
He's bleeding from the nose, and he's just like, man, I can't turn into those things. I can't die like that. Don't let me die like that. Shoot me. You know, the classic zombie. Don't let me turn into the zombie. So Hector, he's like weeping, kills him, and Vic comes in. He's like, hey, that was pretty good. He's like, yeah. He's like weeping. That was my friend.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Listen, I got a preposition for you. He's like, oh, right. Okay, yeah. I mean, I need something to take my mind off this.
Can you come use this pickaxe? I prefer if you take your shirt off and take a few swings at this wall.
They get to work on that.
The warden's son knows where
about
this tunnel is because his dad used to take him.
So he's taking them.
He's skateboarding them through the hallways.
Yes, and then one random guy gets killed by the wall of zombies.
I think that's a cool looking scene.
Yeah, it is. It's a great scene.
That wall. It's
them reaching for them.
There's like a hallway. One is just a straight wall, and the other is lined with prison bars. And there's just endless zombie arms reaching out, and it's like a 4 to 5 foot hallway.
Yeah.
So they barely have any room. Obviously, the guy that we don't know his name dies.
And then they go by a room, and the kid sees Twinkies. And then there's a major freakazoid in there. Don't touch my
Twinkies. He's like a zombie chef with a butcher knife. Don't touch them. Touch my Twinkies. Saxon's crew comes in and starts placing C4 everywhere.
Yeah, and
they get attacked.
The hero team finds their way to it, but then the cameraman sacrifices himself so they can make it the distance.
Yes.
He's like, I'm gone anyways, like my nose is bleeding.
Yeah, my nose is bleeding. He's like, and actually it's just because this guy gets nosebleeds.
Yeah.
He's like, this happens to me all the time, guys.
It's your dad.
This is normal for me. Yeah, he sacrifices himself to shoot the zombies as they approach.
Yeah.
And finally, Vic and Derek, Derek's crew, they find this wall they're trying to break through. And Derek shoots Hector in the head during this little shootout.
And meanwhile, outside, the colonel, they're all leaving, and he's like, no, I'm going to stay with it. Why?
Why?
You just sacrifice all of these people, and now you're like, I'm going to stay and blow myself up too.
Well, he's told about this possible escape. One of his dying soldiers is like, they're trying to get through the tunnel. He's like, I can't let them leave. So he's going to go blow up the tunnel as well.
So he sacrifices himself, but wants to kill it's just like, it's wild. It's like, you seem like the most selfish person ever. And then now it's like, no, I'm going to make sure and finish what I started.
There's not a lot of character development in the Colonel.
Yeah. So the tunnel entrance gets clear.
But Vic and Derek have their little face off.
Yeah.
They've both got guns. They start shooting down. They're like, no guns. They toss their guns. Classic. Been waiting a long time to fist fight you. And then they just tussle on the floor for a bit.
And like a special light where you can see it really good.
Obviously, the kid sees his dead dad.
Yeah, very upset about that.
Which distracts Derek. Distracts him because he knocks out Vic. But then the kid's sad. So Derek's like, oh, let me give you a hug, little child. Or something like that.
He's all heart, you guys.
Vic grabs the gun and he shoots, fires at Derek, just grazes him.
It's graze. Yep. And then who's coming in to try to kill him? But it's zombie brother.
Zombie Franco.
You killed Sean.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to pay for that shit.
And then 6 more zombies come in and attack. But he runs like a panther with diarrhea.
This is another beef I have with the daughter.
What is with you and this daughter?
I know. I said it was going to be an unpopular opinion. So they're shooting and they get found out because of her going,
well,
can you just shut up and not get us killed right now?
Saxon is getting attacked by these zombies and he dropped the detonator. So the C4's everywhere and he dropped the detonator. Derek and crew are running to get out of this cave.
Yeah.
He grabs the detonator, presses it, blows it up.
Blows it
Derek
up.
is blown out of
Barely
the cave.
survives.
Barely survives.
Thunder,
What was
babe.
that?
That's thunder
Oh my
here.
goodness. Or was that the explosion of the cave?
It was.
I was like, is somebody doing sound effects
Sound
for us?
And don't we then cut to the Pentagon? A stock footage of the Pentagon.
Yes, they're listening to the radio. And then it's a guy in the Pentagon who's like denying everything happened.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the heck? And we have a freeze frame on the guy in the Pentagon. Bloody nose.
Bloody nose. We know what that
Freeze
means.
And then the ending song out of nowhere is Chemical Warfare by the Dead Kennedys, which crushes, but like you don't have a sense that this movie would ever have a Dead Kennedys song. Chemical Warfare.
Very fitting title for this film. It should have been Chemical Warfare Prison.
It didn't really fit the film because it would just, there's so many things about it that just feel
It should have been like the
disjointed.
YMCA.
But in its defense, I think all films should end with the Dead Kennedys. Like the Notebook should have a Dead Kennedy song in it.
Naturally. Why not?
Naturally. Who do you got for a movie MVP on this one?
I mean, this is a tough one for me. The movie MVP.
I agree with you.
It was a tough one.
I sat there for a while, and I think I'm going to go with the Dead Kennedys.
I think for me, the movie MVP would have probably just random-assly been the relationship between Franco and Sean.
Oh, okay. Not the extremely necessary to the plot breast shot of Tane.
When in doubt, just say boobies.
Just say boobs. It's
Boobies
fine.
are the MVP. Yeah, I mean, the MVP was tough because for me, it's like I was like, of course, I had fun watching it.
Because there wasn't enough consistency.
No.
It was so disjointed, and
Yeah.
like all of the performances felt a little confusing at times. Not always. They all had moments that were really good, but the consistency was
all over the place.
Because is this a mafia movie or is it a prison drama? Is this a sexy prison drama or is it a zombie movie? I don't know what it is.
You know what? I have my MVP.
Oh.
Adams's headlock. Decapitation.
Oh.
That
pretty
was
great.
the only part of the whole movie that I went, ah!
You were like, yes, yes. I agree. Like, honestly, I think you're right because that was a cheer moment for me too. I was like, I have to rewind this because like
I need that
they
again.
just did a headlock decapitation. That's awesome.
He just popped that sucker off like he was popping a champagne bottle.
Like, how have we never seen that? You're right.
That's my MVP.
Remake, reboot, reimagining, remaster, or sequel? All right. Do you have a thought? I have a thought. What's your thought?
Reimagined in a trilogy.
Oh, see, that I went with reboot, and the reason I went with a reboot was because I feel like the difference between a remake and a reboot is the intention to start a franchise. And that's why I said reboot, because I'm like, this is a franchise.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. For me.
Well, to me, I mean, it could go on and on unlimited, like, Phantasm, not Phantasm, but like any of those other sequels that just go on and on and on. Phantasm,
it could be made into one of the.
It was a big because those aren't needlessly, like, they don't go on and we're like, who's making this one now? It's all the same guy.
Yeah, for me, I wanted to, those Netflix or HBO Max shows where each episode, like kind of like Orange is the New Black, it dives into a different story. Yeah. I would imagine it actually being like a series. For each episode, you look into a different cell block and kind of get that story.
Okay.
So it's okay to jump genres more.
Are we all talking about like this? Are we talking about like the same incident happening, or is it like a through line?
Well, for me, it's like the season finale is always in that prison while the outbreak is going on, but we do flat like scenes of why this person's in here, what happened with them that brought them to this point, what their relationships are.
So exactly like you said before, but I just ignored you. But the Orange is the New Black because that's what they do. They show you how they got there, or they're right. I just ignored you.
You're a man. It's in your DNA to ignore me. I'm just a stupid woman.
See, for me, like I said, I think you get one shot at this big one, and then the rest of them are just kind of different takes on it. But, you know, it's another different prison, or it's a different type of a thing with not as good of a lead or whatever. I think you focus on one thing. Forget about this mafia stuff, not this Vietnam story. We just need a loner character. Don't give it, like a Roddy Piper in They Live, or Hell Comes to Frogtown, like that type of character. Like if we could get Roddy Piper, I'd get Roddy Piper, because this guy was definitely a poor man's Roddy Piper. Sorry, don't be mad at me. But Roddy Piper is the best.
But we know who you were inspired by.
So like, I think we need that type of traveling badass, because we need more traveling badasses. And okay, I'm going to throw a name out there for the lead in this thing. It's Conor McGregor, because his insane role in Roadhouse. I think you have to like manage him and just be like, hey, don't do anything. Don't do anything. No character, no this. I just want you to deliver this cheesy line. And that's it. And then kick ass. Because that's what Roddy Piper was. That's like he was just stoic, and he had something that just gravitated to it. And I think Conor does that first one, and then you just have any random CW star. You just totally grab that person, and then there are new, lead for this new prison or whatever. But I think we go heavy on the zombies. And
more of a payoff on that.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about it is, like, when I was watching it, I got so many vibes of Assault on Precinct 13.
Yes.
I got so many Assault on Precinct 13 vibes from it, but like, and wanting it to kind of go where that went, because, and what's interesting is that Assault on Precinct 13 had a 10th of their budget, according to IMDb. It had $150,000. This movie had $1.5 million. And it doesn't show up on screen. It doesn't in certain ways. Hi, kitty cat.
Continue.
If it had that like tension, like it should have that like cross between Assault on Precinct 13 and a zombie movie. Like it should, like, mixing those two vibes, I think would have really been great. It just, I think John Saxon was thrown on the deep end. He immediately was like, I want to do it. I want to direct. Let's give it a shot. And then
I do want to find out who one of the homoerotic vibes. So this is important to me. I just want to know.
How do we find out? Who do we email? Oh, it has to be handwritten, doesn't it? For this kind of an inquiry.
Words from magazines. Different letters. I need to know.
I need to know who put the gay.
Yeah. It has to be like one of those psychotic fan mail from the 1980s and 1990s. Like in The Bodyguard.
I never did that.
I didn't either.
All right. I think that will take us to
nostalgia of the week.
And this week's guest for Nostalgia of the Week is ex-con Dwayne Little D.
Has anyone ever told you you have a succulent mouth? It's a good thing that you use that mouth in your work, because dang, it'd be a shame to let that go to waste. My name is Dwayne, or Little D, because my daddy is Big D. God rest his soul. He died in a lawn mowing accident, not the way you're thinking. But I just wanted to make that clear that it's not Little D because my junk is little, because it's not. But you know what? Thank you, Daddy, because bullying grows hair on your balls. Okay? So that's what made me what kind of tough, strong man that I am. Is going through life being called Little D every day. So the nostalgia I want to talk to you about is this theory that soap on a rope in prison, when you drop it, it's bad. I heard all about it when I was a kid. Everybody said, if you ever go to prison, don't you drop your soap in the shower. Well, I did. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed me for the better. I'll swear on the Holy Bible on that every day. Marcus was looking for Jesus and he found him in my butthole. We found each other that day. And from then on out, I was known in the prison as the prison prize. I was a golden donut. And if you don't know what that term means in prison, it means that multiple men tried to fight for the honor of my butthole. And Marcus protected me, and he won that honor over and over and over again. Now, I was in for theft and a little bit of drug stuff, but Marcus, he was doing hard time, so he's still in there. He had to go on without me. But there's not a Christmas that goes by that I don't cry in the shower, and I drop that soap just to pretend I can feel Marcus breathing on my neck. And Debbie, she's a good woman. That's my wife, the mother of my children. She is a good woman, and she doesn't ask me questions about my time with Marcus. She just accepts that it changed me forever. It made me a softer man with her. It makes me try harder to be sensitive with my children. So listen, all I'm trying to tell you is everything that people tells you is bad, it ain't that bad. And sometimes something really beautiful can come out of that ugliness. Back to you, beautiful mouth. Okay.
That'll do us this week, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like...
Unless you have anything else to say.
No, I think...
What I love is, like,
I've been
my
heard.
kids finally stop screaming.
Now that
we're done
done
recording.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So I'd like to formally apologize to everyone out there for my wild kids not taking a nap.
If you're on the fence and you're considering, do I have kids or don't I have kids? We hope this episode helped you with your choices. I am basically a barren woman. I had trouble getting pregnant, and there were times I felt bad about it, but today really helped me.
It really helped me get through all of the past trauma that I've been dealing with.
It's like, well, maybe it worked out for the best for me.
Hey, look, that's why I'm day drinking, huh?
Hey. Just a little miscarriage talk here for this podcast. We love you guys. We hope that you come back and expect more of this genius behavior. All right.
It's good chatting.
Good chatting. I'm Jenny Wenger.
I'm Jeremy Briggs. This. All right, I need to try to do another thing. They're going crazy. I'm sorry, it's ruining the entire thing.
This just confirms our choices, G. See all that booze behind him?